everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jessica Sherkan. I'm an aspiring author currently working on my debut novel, Boston's Vigilantes. I created my channel to document my self-publishing journey, to share my tips and tricks for writing, and to join the online writing community. So before I get into this video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I know I sound a little weird. That is because I have the flu, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to skip a video this week. So if from time to time I sound a little bit stuffy or a little bit weirder than normal, this is the reason, because I have the flu. So this week's video is something that I have struggled a lot with lately, and that is finding motivation to write. My life is just always go, go, go. I'm the type of person who always has something to do. I hate having a minute and not doing something, and I hate procrastinating, even though I still kind of do it. So with my busy life and always being go, 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 sometimes when I sit down to write, I don't really have motivation. I would just want to take a nap or do something else that isn't related to writing, but I still know that I have to get things related to the writing world done. So I decided that because if I have this problem, maybe I should talk about it, give you guys my tips that give you guys things that I use to deal with this, to deal with not having motivation, and maybe it will help me at the same time. So two birds with one stone. Number one is try not to get distracted. I know that this is easier said than done. I feel like it's always easy to say, okay, no YouTube, and I'll just get into writing. But guess what? 5 minutes later, and I'm on YouTube. I do not know how that happens. And usually when I do end up on YouTube, I end up like 2 or 3 hours, and I see that it's time for me to do something else, like my next activity, like let's say my homework. And that is not really something that is good for me to do. Like, it's procrastination at the end of the day. So usually I've made it a habit to work on my novel or editing a YouTube video or anything that is related to the writing world at night after 10 p.m. I know that because of this I only get a few hours of sleep, but I feel like it's so much better for my writing life, because at 10 p.m. and between 10 p.m. and like 1 or 2 or even 3 a.m., because I have to spend mornings until 3 a.m. and the next morning at 6 I would get up for school. But during that time there are no distractions. I have no family members. I feel a lot more full of life. YouTube is kind of boring. So I don't know if this is something just for my YouTube, but whenever I would get on YouTube and try to watch videos at like after 9 p.m., there aren't any good YouTube videos. And because there aren't any good videos for me to watch, I just can't watch videos, so I can be on YouTube so I could focus just on my writing. So I feel like that is a great way to get rid of distractions for me, working during the nighttime. Another great way of getting rid of distractions is maybe going to a cafe to write or to your local library. Or just maybe shutting off the Wi-Fi for like 1 hour or 2 hours, depending on how much time you have to work. This really comes down to what you consider being a distraction. If you consider your phone to be a distraction, maybe you could just switch that off. Normally, my phone isn't that big of a distraction for me, but I usually keep it on vibrate, and I would just pay attention to it when it would ring, because I don't get phone calls that often. I usually just get text messages, and my phone calls are either from my mom or from my brother. So I know that I can answer those, and it's really something quick, like she wants me to pick up something, or she wants to see if I'm at home, or random stuff like that. Number two is get out of your own way. So I feel like this has something to do if you're kind of stressed out because if you're stressed, you're not likely to have any motivation to write or to edit or to whatever you want to do. I guess these kind of things can be applied to anything and not just writing. But if you're stressed and if you have a deadline or if you have any kind of anxiety or something that doesn't really want to, something inside your brain that doesn't really want to let you grow and work and improve on whatever, that's kind of just yourself trying to stop you from achieving something out of fear. So you just have to take a step back and just get out of your way, because I feel like we are our own biggest enemies. And if we have something going on and we don't feel like we can do it, or we have a lot of stress in our day-to-day life or anything, you try to stop yourself from achieving your goal because maybe you think that you're not going to do it, or maybe you think that it's not something that you should work on, you should pay attention to. But this is really just something that you need to learn how to deal with. For me, the way I deal with this, I just keep pushing myself forward, because I know that somehow it will happen. My way of getting out of my own way is just to keep going forward no matter what, even if it seems like an uncomplishable, is that even a word? If it's a goal that you don't think you can accomplish, you just have to go on, because the more you work towards, even if it's something that you're scared to do, even if it's something that you don't believe that you can do it, by pushing yourself, you will be able to do it. Number 3 is not to get scared when you get stuck. I feel like this kind of goes hand in hand with getting out of your own way. But when you are stuck and you don't know where to go, try to look at everything from a different perspective. And like I said, this is also something that you can apply to your day-to-day life, not just writing, because we keep seeing certain things in our lives in the same small box that we have seen things so far. And by seeing a different perspective, like if you try to switch up the box, the position of the box, or look from look from the situation outside of the box, or if you went inside of, from a period, but because you have a perspective, you can find ways to look at your goals in a different way, or look at your struggles in a different way, and maybe you will come up with an idea. No, not maybe, certainly you will come up with an idea of how to see things, of how to accomplish things. So if you're stuck, let's say for so let's say that you're stuck in a scene, you don't know how to edit it, how to change it, or how to write it, and you keep seeing the scene from this certain perspective. And when you're stuck, you really don't have any motivation to go forward with the scene. I feel like that is something that I have done so many times, and I hated not having any motivation because of one certain scene. So because of that scene, and I didn't know how to approach it, I would just take a step back and look at the scene from a different perspective. I would try to write that scene from either a third person perspective or the perspective of another character in that scene, and then think of how I could switch it up from a protagonist's point of view. Or is to take a break from time to time. I know that when you work a lot, you can get burned out and not be that motivated to continue working on your novel or on editing. And I feel like you need to take a break from time to time. You still need to rest, you still need to relax. So you should really focus on taking a break, a huge break, or multiple breaks, but keep them short. This really depends on how well you work, or on how well you can deal with taking a break but not procrastinating. Number four, no, number five is to remember the reason why you write. So if you really don't feel any motivation to write, you need to think of why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you writing? Do you write it because you love it? Do you write it because you're bored? Um, do you write to procrastinate? I really want to meet someone who writes to procrastinate. Is that even a thing? But you still need to find the reason why. I know that in my getting my back video, when I explained to why I was gone, I talked about finding your why, and this is a great reason for point number five, is because you really need to find your why you're writing, why you are doing what you are doing. So this really helps you put everything into perspective, and if you find your why, you will see if you can live your life without doing it. I really can't imagine my life without writing or anything creative, because for me, being in the writing world doesn't mean just writing or editing. It means YouTube, it means reading, it means improving on my craft, not necessarily by writing. It means marketing, it means so many more things. So this is one why for me, because I love it, because it keeps me busy, because I can't imagine my life without it. So that's all I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other tips for how you deal with not having any motivation, leave them in the comments down below, because I'm really curious to see how you guys deal with lack of motivation different from me, and I always love to improve where I can. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because I post new videos every Fridays. If you want to get in touch or just chat for a bit, you can go follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Jessica Shirkan. If you want to read the first chapter of my novel, it's gonna be in the link down below. As always, that's all I have for today. I hope you guys have a nice Friday and a fantastic weekend. Bye!